Apparently J-Money misclicked. As I said before, nobody has ever written me as many messages as JMONEYMAGIC. It is the first time ever that this man will play in the Big Brain Bouts. He has been trying for a very long time, and he wanted to play Trigger. That was not going to happen. But I decided to give him Magnath from Egypt. It is also his first time ever in the BASILISK Big Brain Bouts. I don't know much about J-Money. What I do know is that Vanya coaches him. So that we do know. The MMR should be around 4,800 for both. Magnath is a little bit higher ranked than J-Money, but J-Money is full of confidence. And obviously has some coaching and whatnot. It should be a fun series. I have no idea what to expect from this. I think it's going to be wild, but I hope we have a good time. 4,800 MMR gaming for the opening match of the BASILISK Big Brain Bouts number 49 already.
Let's get it on.
And as always, first series of the night is 60 bucks for the winner and 15 for the loser. In the bottom left side, here he is, guys. You've probably seen him in my Discord or in the BASILISK Discord because he has been active, he has been posting. He just wanted a shot. This is JMONEYMAGIC, a 22-year-old Zerg player from the United States of America and apparently from ENIAC's hometown, Oklahoma. Top right side, we are looking at the main base of our Egyptian Protoss. Pool 3 memes are more than welcome, more than allowed. He was also a caster for Gamers 8 last summer. And in the Gamers 8, at one point I had a little chat with him. And all of a sudden out of nowhere he just hit me with the, by the way, if I try hard for 2 months, I would beat you on the ladder. I'm like, alright mate, let's see about that. Well, almost a year has gone by and he's still 1,000 MMR below me. But here he is in the Big Brain Bouts. This is Magnath. he was also full of confidence. He was going to put Roddy in his place. Curious. This could honestly be a bit of a mismatch. I did watch a couple of the replays of JMONEYMAGIC because I know very little about him. Like Magnath I know enough about. J-Money I knew very little about, but he was so eager and he seemed very nice that I wanted to give him a shot, but hearing stories about how he wins one random game in the weekly, that doesn't do anything for me. So I took a look at a couple of the replays and I was like, alright, 4-6, 4-7, maybe 4-8 if he is really pumped up and he has a couple of good builds. So this is what I came up with. But I could have seen it wrong because obviously it's hard to really judge someone on just a few replays. Interesting opening here, by the way, guys. By Jesus, what is this? What is this, Magnath? What are we doing? What? I mean, I know they built the pyramids over in Egypt, but this is quite the base design. Double gate, cybercore, full wall off with a pylon in the front. Now that is an opening, guys. That is one hell of an opening by Magnath. I am familiar with double gate openings. I think every now and then opening up double gate in PvZ is completely fine. If you're confident in your adept movement and whatnot. And of course, these guys are not pro gamers, so we're not going to be too harsh on them. But I do know that Magnath watches a crazy amount of Starcraft and he has a good idea of how he's supposed to be playing. I have no idea where he found this, but alright. He also keeps one adept at home, which I think is a little bit odd. Honestly, this is a pretty good start for JMONEYMAGIC. The economy of Magnath is not going to be all that good. Magnath did say that even though he is 4,800 MMR, that PvZ is his worst matchup. So that's why I also thought it was okay to give him a slightly lower ranked Zerg. Yeah. I mean, if this is how we open, I understand why we struggle in the PvZs, guys. No! Already? Okay. I honestly, guys, I can only put this down to nerves. I think Magnath is nervous, even though he comes across like a little bit of Giga Chat and a meme lord, and he's having a good time. I think he's proper nervous, and I have no idea if he like scouted something in the beginning of the game, but what he scouted wasn't all that weird. There was really no reason for him to do this. Maybe wait, get one more warp in and then kill your gate. If you get one more warp... Wait, does he... Do you lose your warp in now? No. I actually don't know how that works. I guess you don't lose your warp in. Cool. That is not an interaction I see very often. He obviously expected an all-in, but most of the time you expect an all-in based on something that you see. Yeah. Now, JMONEYMAGIC did make a lot of links, so he's not economically ahead as far ahead as he could be. This amount of links against Adepts without glaives, if you get a surround, you're going to be fine. If you don't get a surround, you're not going to be fine. He decides against it. Also, like, world's latest Oracle here, by the way, with the opening that Magnath has gone for. We'll have an Oracle, but 5 minutes into the game. Alright. JMoney is dropping a couple spores. Those spores also would normally be very late, but in this situation it makes perfect sense. And he has scouted with the Overlord, so should be fine. What's that queen count? 6. That's honestly decent. Magnath, how is our Oracle micro? This is not what I was promised, guys. This is not what I was promised. Magnath, what is happening here, mate? Uh-oh. It's gonna be a tough night for Magnath. We're gonna have to step it up a little. And I do believe he's pretty good, because I've seen games of him, and I know that he's very active with all the nerds and all things Protoss and whatnot, but that no signal was totally on purpose this time. There's a long way to go, guys. There's a long way to go. Don't forget that these guys, once more, are not pro gamers. So that means that certain comebacks are also going to be possible. Where Magnath may have a silly decision here or there in the early game, there's a good chance that JMoney is going to have a couple of very silly attacks. We're now firing up 9 roaches. He has not started roach speed yet. I did notice in some of the replays that I saw of our American Zerg player that he's floating a little too much. He should really start up his upgrade, by the way. Like, that upgrade doesn't take too long. There you go. So he is on point. JMoney goes up to 4 bases. Magnath is going to try to go up to 4 bases as well. Other than that Oracle donation, it has been a relatively peaceful start to this opening best of 5 of the night. I like how that Overlord is still sitting here, by the way. Oracle number 2 is out. We're also going to make Oracle number 3. 7 minutes into the game, Oracle number 3 is going to say hello. Magnath is going to have an incredibly tough time, by the way, dealing with a lot of roaches with roach speed. Now, JMoney is moving out, I think, a little bit too early. The Oracle, by the way, is finding a tiny bit of damage here. 4 drones died, that's decent. Maybe we should wait until we have roach speed, my friend. We are 15 seconds away from roach speed, and if roach speed is going to kick in, he will be cooking. Attacking with slow roaches, though, into blink stalkers. That is supposed to be difficult, but he definitely does have a numbers advantage. The lings are going to show up as well. JMoneyMagic for America. I actually do think that the moment roach speed is going to kick in, he will be cooking. Magnath is very low on the army supply. He's going to try to make it immortal. Oracles are kind of out of energy. Warping in stalkers in a very dangerous spot. This is a battle. Magnath not doing too bad, but I'm afraid that soon he's going to start losing everything. Because there are a lot of extra Zerg units running to the other side of the map. We've got Zerglings with speed that are now being produced. They're going to show up very quickly. And our Zerg is on 5 bases. JMoney sitting on some money. Hatcheries for days. Doing a very good job killing most of these stalkers with Lincoln. Yeah, without a pylon, a battery, a cannon here, it's going to get tough. I think one Immortal is about to show up. Immortal has potential, but this is a lot of roaches. A rough start to the best of 5, I am afraid, for Magnath. Unless we can now keep it together and we have a shield battery to blink back to, as JMoney is sitting on a few more resources than he's supposed to be sitting on, but these stalkers are going to get surrounded by lings. And if all of these lings break in, it's still going to be crazy bad. We do have another Oracle, and he's making a 5th Oracle. But the floodgates are on, as the Muslim would say. Everybody else would say that these floodgates are open. And that Zerg units are streaming into the main base, into the natural. Decent damage so far. Magnath kind of hanging in there. But for how much longer can he hang in there? If only he had a shield battery, by the way, then I think he would have been able to take an excellent trade. That battery is about to come online. Let's see if JMoney is going to focus it. We have more. We have a battery. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of probes, by the way. Casual 27 probes in the 3rd base. His battery overcharge has been activated. JMoney knows that he needs to respect the green battery. Vanya probably told him that. And he is going to be able to pick that one off. I mean, the Oracles and Stalkers near batteries honestly starting to do pretty good. And Magnath kind of survives. Like, actually kind of good. Is ahead in workers. But I also feel that JMoney could saturate his bases a little bit quicker. He does still have 20 roaches, 16 links. So this game is far from okay for Magnath. I still think he's in a bit of trouble because he's down 50 army supply. And these Oracles don't have energy forever. Casual 14 Ravages, by the way, guys. Casual 14 Ravages on the way here between these two 4,800 MMR players. Master 1. Be nice, Supra's 91 Turbo. They've been around for a long time, but that does not mean that you are allowed to be mean. Roaches, Lings, and Ravagers are now going to do their best to snipe a couple of Oracles. That is difficult, even if your name is Jonas Sotala. As Battery Overcharge has been activated again, you need to take care of that Battery Overcharge, and he will. Stalk is now in a bit of a pickle. Oh, probes could be stuck. Good save there by Magnath. Oh my goodness, there's so many probes. I think we're going to get more corrosive balls. Ravages are hard to deal with. Lings. Oh my god, 54 Zerglings on the production tab in the middle of all of this chaos. We had a somewhat slow start to this game, but now it's been battling for 3.5, 4 minutes straight. In the end, it is just a bit too much Zerg to deal with. JMoneyMagic takes the 1-0 lead on the European server as well. Keep that in mind. And that means that we are now going to swap over to NA. That was a video game. I feel that Magnath started to do really good once he finally had Blink, and he actually took a couple of good fights, good trades. Like, this should never be, I think, a 3-0 between these two. But the start was rough. Like, the start was just incredibly bad. I think if Magnath would have played the exact same game, but he would have gone 1 gate fast expand with a Stargate, quick Oracles, he probably wins that game convincingly. But yeah, he just dealt an insane amount of damage to himself by the full wall off, the adapts, the super late Stargate. Like, that just didn't really go his way. Maybe JMoney should play Trigger. I feel like anybody who saw that game, I'm happy for JMoney that he's off to a good start. No, he should not play Trigger. Not for a very long time. Why did he not build 1 or 2 Void Rays? I am not certain. I do think that there was a moment, I was thinking about it, when he had 4 Oracles when they were battling at the 4th. I was like, maybe if you build a Void Ray right now, that would actually be big, but maybe that's something that he hates, where he rather like doubles down on Oracles. And don't forget it, he also lost 1 Oracle, right? For absolutely nothing. It's alright, guys. That was a pool 3 performance at best. However, plenty of games to play. We are ready for game 2. It's going to be played on Solaris. Magnath from Egypt against JMoneyMagic from Oklahoma. Banger start. That was actually a banger start. I hope that Magnath is not kicking himself too much for that start, because I felt like there were some nerves. And obviously once you're nervous and you start messing up, then you're going to get frustrated. I hope he doesn't get too frustrated.
Round 2, fight!
I think if he just stays calm, cool, collected. Uh-oh. Well, we'll talk more about that later. Maybe there is no time for that. In the top right side of Solaris, a map with a lot of acceleration zones in the center. The American Zerg has been spamming us for months to finally play in the Big Brain Bouts. He has taken the 1-0 lead. This is JMoneyMagic. He also said that he does not want the prize money if he wins. I said, mate, don't worry about it. Just take it. No, Roddy, I really don't want to. I want the Basilisk hoodie. But I will give the prize money to Magnath, even when I beat him. I was like, well, you do whatever you want, mate. That is up to you. We'll worry about that later. First, show up and see if you win. He's off to a good start, and he's 12 pulling in game 2. Bottom left side, we are looking at the main base of the Egyptian Protoss. It is Magnath. This could even be, by the way, guys, a 12 pull drone pool. I would not put it past JMoney. But it seems like that is not going to be the case, as he wants to expand. Magnath is blocking the hatch from going down. Oh, but there's a hatchery on the other side of the map. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, no, Magnath. What are we going to do, mate? What are we going to do? You did not have to worry about the hatch on the other side. You had to worry about a hatch in your own ball up. And if this hatchery, guys, gets cancelled, then the links can stream through this gap. Uh-oh. We're gonna fight with one zealot. Second zealot is gonna be produced. And honestly, this is gonna be rough. Let's see. I think canceling, yeah, you're gonna cancel it. It's only 4 links right now. This is actually a good fight for the Egyptian Protoss at first. Now the hatchery gets built over here in the natural. Oh my goodness. Alright, we are gaming, guys. We are gaming. There's not too many probes mining at the moment. JMoney is dealing a lot of economic damage. He's running circles with these links. He is probably going to expand as well. I think finally some probes will die here. Fight! Where's that second zealot, by the way? We should have... Okay, there's 2 zealots over here. And now a couple of links are working on the pylon, but good job by Magnath leaving 1 zealot behind and actually taking care of most of those leftover links as well. Now JMoney is droning. And all he is looking for here is a couple of probes and obviously just ruining the build order completely of Magnath. This is a big investment. Legoland says that this is over. It's definitely not over, mate, because these guys are not pro gamers and silly things can happen. Also, I have no idea who you would even say that it's over for. Like, who do you like it for, Legoland? Of course, if Magnath right now becomes Neep and these 2 adepts are controlled perfectly, he's gonna kill 12 drones on the other side of the map. But, as we saw in the previous game, our man Magnath is not Neep. So, who do you think it's over for? Because I'm curious. He is going to go to the other side of the map with double zealot, double adept. Has a lot of potential. Obviously, Zergling speed is incredibly late. And JMoney, I think going triple expand here is honestly pushing it a little bit. Let's see what he can do with queens and slow links. You thought it was over for JMoney? Oh, yeah. Well, I didn't think that he was ever going to straight up just win there, but okay. Interesting take there, mate. Interesting call. 2 adepts are gonna work on that first queen. This queen, obviously, there is no creep highway between the natural and the main base, so this first queen is going to die. The link count, slow link count, is decently high. Yeah, you cannot fight without any queen support here, mate. Magnath is now also expanding, by the way, on the other side of the map, and he's got a Stargate finishing up. This game is a mess. That's what this game is. I wouldn't say that it's over. I will say that it's a mess. So much lava, by the way. They're bleeding out a lot of links. So much potential in the Oracle. Yeah, I think the slow link count is easily high enough right now, as we're gonna get the surround. JMoneyMagic gets the surround on the adepts, on the zealots, kills the zealots. The adepts live for now. Honestly, Magnath kind of needs to do something good with his oracles, or the adepts again. Because if JMoney just starts droning properly of these 3 hatcheries, I do think he's going to be able to create a pretty big economic lead for himself. This is a good start. Look at our boy. Perfect adept positioning as well. Very well done by the man who's down 0-1. Against 3 drones in the end, we have an oracle. Alright. After that last game, I think I speak for all of us when I say our expectations are low. Positively surprise us, Magnath. No, oh my goodness. Wait, why? They were low, but why are you sending it back? I don't get it. There's absolutely no reason to send it back at all. The man has a low queen count. You kill the queen. You know he has no spore crawlers. He did not have Zergling speed. Magnath. You can really see that this boy has been hurt in this matchup. Because I feel that he is a smart player and he definitely should be able to read a game like this. Yeah, obviously if you have a lot of unfortunate losses in weird ways, then eventually you just start worrying about everything that could possibly go wrong. 2 oracles are now finally on the other side of the map, and there is definitely potential to kill a couple drones here. You want to be careful. You don't want to lose any oracles. That was pretty good. Kills 4 drones, gets out of there. Both oracles still alive. We will take it. I think it's perfectly fine to go for a 3rd base on Magnath's side. Somebody in the chat is worried about it. I think it makes perfect sense. That's why you go for oracles as well. Make your life easier to go up to 3 bases. Maybe he could have gone for some sort of a 2 base all-in, but why risk it? On top of that, this has been a very weird game because of the start. I mean, Such a chaotic graph. As 2 oracles show up in the main. A little bit derpy there, but he gets the drone and he keeps the oracles alive. That's the most important part. I have to babysit my nephew tomorrow at 9:45 a.m. And I'm pretty certain if I ask him to draw something, it's gonna look a lot like this. Kid is 5. He can draw graphs like that, guys. Who allowed them to go so similar colors? I did. I can tell them to pick a different color next game. I personally don't have a problem with it, but I know some people are colorblind and it can be very annoying for y'all. And I think off creep, like, it's not a mirror matchup, so I personally am not bothered by colors because I look at units, not really colors. I will make sure that they pick slightly different colors next game. Little bit of a stalker poke with a couple of adepts going for the drones. Kind of a weird fighter as the oracles just kind of stand there on the sidelines and cheer them on. But JMoney is floating a lot. He's just got no units at the moment. Both players were floating a lot. Magnath just went for a big old warp in, I believe. Our Zerg needs units. We've got 28 lings on the production tab, and now we lost all of our queens. And obviously losing every single queen is problematic if the oracles are chilling above the stalkers. I mean, this was a very random fight, random attack. I think all the links together will still clean this up. Unless we lose all of them to Crowser Beam, but I don't think that should ever happen. The average unspent resources is pretty high here. Oh my goodness, that is his first lair, by the way. That is an incredibly late lair. 8 minutes and 40 seconds. Yeah, it's going to be tough for JMoney. Let's see what he can make of this. Nice drone pull there, by the way. He was quick in that regard. Lings are running into stalkers in the center of the map. The Lings do have +1. That's obviously awesome. That's going to make them a lot better against the stalkers. But Magnath is kind of cooking, man. Our boy Mac with double forge. Blink is done. Zealot charge on the way. Can grab some workers from the main. Send them over. I think if Magnath continues to be aggressive, this will be a relatively straightforward game. And I feel like he should absolutely be able to tie things up here. There's 9 overlords are on the way. I think that JMoney made this game very complicated for himself macro-wise with like the proxy hatch, the hatch block into double expanding at home. I feel like he should have tried to stabilize on 2 bases for a bit and then drop a 3rd hatch. Just tried to do too many things at once. Does still have a lot of Zerglings here and gets a decent surround. As Magnath thinks that he's max packs over here with 1 oracle with his army and 2 oracles into the main. Kinda cool. Like I was right all along. But I don't even know what he meant. Oh! Okay. First oracle does finally fall, but hey, after 10 minutes, everyone is allowed to lose an oracle. I don't think it's important for our man from Egypt to continue to be aggressive, because right now, he would have honestly a relatively easy time taking great fights. If he is gonna sit back forever and he lets the Zerg get up to, you know, 160, 170 supply, and it's very obvious that JMoneyMagic is not a guy who's going to go up to 85 workers. This is a crazy amount of Zerglings. All the Lings at once are going to attack the shield battery, and they will get the shield battery. Now they can just... I don't know what we're attacking here, guys. There's a lot of right-clicking there. That was a Ling run by and a half. We got the battery. As we now have 5 Zealots running into a base. Those roaches pop at a pretty picture-perfect moment, but we're going to need a few more, as it's not just the Zealots. It is Stalkers too. I do believe that JMoney can keep this hatchery safe. I mean, the upgrades are amazing for Magnath. He's done a very good job in spending his money, a much better job than JMoney has. Do we have Baneling Speed, by the way? We do have Baneling Speed. I am concerned for that moment where JMoney is going to be able to max out. And if he maxes out against a man, as we have a couple of Banelings rolling into this base, like, it's honestly very difficult to deal with a maxed out Ling, Roach, Ravager, Bane army if all you're making is Blink Stalkers. And of course, Magnath can basically lose a base and still be fine, as he's incredibly far ahead. This is not a maxed out Zerg though, and obviously Stalkers with this many upgrades over the roaches. That is not going to be a scary fight. GG gas called, and we have managed to tie things up after a 12-minute game. I think our American Zergy made this one a little more complicated than it had to be. Well done. Hey, we're all tied up for a series of the night. We'll take that. What happened in game 1? You don't want to know. Nobody really knows what happened in game 1. I think at this point even Magnath is not totally certain what happened in game 1. But what definitely did happen in game 2 is that he did a good job against the weird stuff his opponent was throwing at him. And I feel like he can be pretty proud of that. What's the MMR, please? 4,800, give or take. Second series of the night is going to be a little bit higher, not according to Magnath, but you know, as far as I know, Winter is a little bit better than that. And not the streamer Winter. An Hungarian Protoss called Winter. And I'm not that familiar with our Polish Zergy either, but that's what the Big Brain Bouts is all about. Give everybody a chance, and seemed like a nice guy. Everybody had good things to say about him, so why not give that man from Poland a chance to play in the BBB. 2 fun community series tonight, and then obviously 2 proper high-level best of 5s tonight. We're all tied up after 2. I want to take a little look, guys, at all the things that JMONEYMAGIC wrote me. Because he wrote so much that I could not really read all of it at first. Let me take a look, guys. I'll do some intros and then I'll go over this message and see if there's anything fun and cool that I can share with y'all.
Round 3. Fight.
Bottom right side. Oh, damn it. I forgot to tell them about the colors. Slightly different now, though, so maybe this is better. Bottom right side, we are looking at the main base of the man who's spamming some camera hotkeys. Look at that. He's a pro gamer. It's JMONEYMAGIC. There are definitely some summer and autumns and springs out there as well. Top left side, we are looking at the main base of the man from Egypt, tying things up, representing Twisted Minds. Not as a player. This is Magnath. Yeah. That does not surprise me, Dakila here. JMoney is just very energetic and he likes to chat. Apparently he has only been playing for 1 year, so for a man who's only been playing 1 year, he's damn good. He said he got some coaching of Husheng in the very beginning. Then he met Vanya through a Uthermal video and he begged Vanya for his Roach proxy hatch build. Me and the Shang gang get together twice a week for group practices, and those experiences have been some of the best in my life. I generally really care about my boys and I'm gonna do my best for them. I think in terms of MMR, I may possibly be the best player in Oklahoma. I may not have been in the scene for very long, but it doesn't take much to notice that you, Roddy, take the most care and consider into cultivating the most healthy SC2 scene possible. And he's immensely grateful. Aww. Play soundtrack, guys. Aww. How sweet is that? My pipe dream is that I get good enough to be signed by Basilisk. He wrote it wrong. He wrote Basilisk. Not just because Rainer and Sarah are my idols, but honestly how much of a family it feels. That's very sweet. The last thing that he wanted me to know is that it would be awesome if I can refer to him as Robin Baby. Because Bruce Wayne is his coach, and Bruce Wayne is playing later tonight, and obviously Bruce Wayne is a Batman thing. And if Bruce Wayne is Batman, he wants to be Robin, and he loves it when I say, "Oh baby!" It makes him chuckle, so he wants to be Robin Baby. Well, there we have it, guys. And he wrote so much more, but I cannot go through all of it. Sweet guy. You know, nothing wrong with positivity and having dreams. I like all of this stuff a lot more than people who go online and start being mean to other people immediately. Kid is just energetic and is excited and loves playing Starcraft. It's kind of why we all started playing Starcraft a long time ago. We have somewhat normal openings, but we do have a quick Robo. Robo as part of the wall, or kind of to block the pylon. Magnath really is loving those hero walls. Seems like we're going to open up with 4-gate, Resonating Glaive, Adept with a Warp Prism. That could honestly be very good against the way that JMoney is playing. As this Robin baby does not seem to build too many drones. And I think overall struggles a little bit with spending his money early on. And 4-gate Glaive Adept is a build that just hits early and hard. But I don't know if Magnath is any good with it. Picking off a single Adept is already big here, by the way. And he will get that first Adept. That's a great start. Come on, scout now, mate. You know, if you send one Zergling to the front, you see literally everything. We are probably never gonna get busted. Double Roach one. Oh yeah. You know, guys, what's also funny is that I had 49 weeks of the BASILISK Big Brain Bouts. So this is week 49, as Magnath is going to donate another adaptive. Shade finishes up, by the way. The floodgates are open. The floodgates are not totally open. Not sure about the double Roach one, but JMoney was the first player ever to DM me like randomly on Wednesday, and he's like, "Hey, Roddy, what are the deals with the skins, by the way, in the Big Brain Bouts?" I was like, "I don't know, man. I'm pretty sure you can turn it off if you want to." He's like, "Yeah, I'm just making sure because one of the skins does not reveal that I will go for a tunneling clause. And if I can then go tunneling clause, I can get an advantage." And I'm like, if I were you, mate, I would worry about getting 3 bases up and running and getting a good economy rather than the skin that could reveal tunneling clause or not. But I was like, I'll make sure that the normal skins are used. He's like, all right, thank you. I was like, no one has ever reached out to me in that regard. Now, we did build double Roach 1, guys, so we can build Roaches twice as fast. Just kidding, that's a Red Alert gimmick. That does not really happen in Starcraft. But the Roaches are out. The Lynx were trying to intercept these Adepts, but the Link count wasn't quite high enough. Roach count is now decent, though. And Magnath is still on 2 bases. More Roaches, I would say, is absolutely the correct call. Can we split these Roaches up properly to limit the damage? Are we going to cancel the Shade? Yes, we do. Look at Magnath. Jukes like Ronaldo over here. No, JMoney, wrong way for the drones, mate. Oh, wrong way. Kind of gets away with it, honestly. That could have gone so much worse, but I think this Shade is going to get cancelled again as well. I think Magnath wants to stay with the Prism. Nope. But he also doesn't shade into the natural. So our Protoss is 15 workers ahead. That part is great. By the way, a Dark Shrine would have just ended this game. I was actually very worried that Magnath was going to go for a Dark Shrine because JMoney makes super late lairs. And yeah, obviously then if there would have been a Dark Shrine, it's just game over immediately. But Magnath is showing us that he is a merciful Egyptian god. And he does not want to end the game that quick. Does have a few more Adepts in the third. We're bleeding out a lot of Adepts here. We're obviously getting some good economic damage. I'm just a little bit concerned that he might die to a counterattack. And that should not happen. But obviously these guys are not pro gamers. And it could happen. I feel like if JMoney grabs all of his units right now, runs to the other side of the map, I think he's got a very good shot. Because Magnath has 1 pylon powering 3 gates in a robo. No battery, no backup pylon, nothing. And Immortals could get surrounded by Zerglings. Of course, with Great Warp Prism Micro, that's not going to happen. JMoneyMagic is sending it. Oh, baby. 29 drones and a dream. Oh, okay, that's a good start for Magnath, who is now going to get a backup pylon, but that's a little bit late. The Roaches are here. If the Warp Prism just gets some good Immortal Micro, then I think it's going to be fine. But this is a lot of Zerg. 28 Roaches. They are slow Roaches. That's still 28 Roaches. You need to get on top of the batteries, mate. You need to get on top of the batteries. He is going to think about it. He tried. Won't get it in the end. What are we going to do now? He wants to kill the Cybercore, but every second that goes by is obviously a great one for Magnath. Especially because the Lynx have not killed the third base yet. Roaches, slow Roaches are now battling the Robo. They will get the Robo. It's just that now you have 2 Immortals, mate, that are shooting at double slow Roach. Double Roach 1 slow Roach. This was not quite it in the end. Unfortunately, this was not quite it. I think he had a chance there if he would have just split off the Lynx here, shoved those Roaches in and just fight. It's unlikely as we have a few more adepts still doing its thing in the main. J-Money is mega broke. 0 minerals in the bank. Magnath is enjoying a 29 worker lead. And now we are gonna get Ravages. Is there a tiny chance that he snipes? I mean, the Ravages would have been amazing earlier, by the way. I would say just... Jesus. Triple Robo. Okay. I don't know. J-Money needs luck. Like, obviously, if Magnath defends properly, he will always win here. No, we have 10 probes very exposed in the third, so maybe this is somewhat of a promising start. I think Magnath is aware of the fact that he has done a lot of good work on the other side of the map. Does not seem to be too concerned. We're gonna go for a little bit of Warp Prism Micro. I'm excited to see what Magnath is made out of. Battery Overcharge has been activated very quickly. This is not a fight that J-Money can take at the moment, so you just wait. Killing 9 probes and a third base is big. He's still down 26 workers. Look at Magnath. Now that's some full 3 Warp Prism Micro if I've ever seen one. Open the floodgates for the Zerg army. Immortals out of position. Total disaster. Oh, Stalker's getting corrosive bout. It's not gonna get any prettier, but the Immortals are doing their thing in the back, and it's so hard to kill so hard to kill probes near 4 shield batteries. And J-Money has just walked into a death corner and is going to give up. GG. Honestly, after killing the third base, maybe just building some drones would not even be the worst play ever. But he didn't have a lair because he's a hatchery Zerg. So I guess without a lair it's very difficult. I understand that he's worried. The man from Egypt has successfully turned things around and has taken the 2-1 lead. But now we're going to go back to the American server. And we'll see how that goes. Messy games between these two. But it's definitely been fun. Can't say that I haven't enjoyed myself for the first big brain bouts of the night. Would love to see a slightly longer game between the two, but don't know if we're going to get there. The pylon is just bad. Like no matter what the reasoning may be for that pylon, that's just a bad pylon. We don't have to analyze it. Hero obviously has questionable pylons as part of his wall off, so it's not in front of the wall off, but it's part of the wall off. But even that, a little bit questionable, but okay. Like Hero Scouts, reacts can defend all ins, but having a pylon like that in front of your Robo and 3 gates and not having a backup pylon, not having shield batteries. You don't have to analyze that. That's just not a play. Unfortunately, that is just not a play. 2-1 lead for the man from Egypt. But we go back to the American server, where the Oklahoma boy is going to try to make the home crowd proud. Yeah, I mean, plenty of mistakes were made, right? LeBron, 23 James. These guys on... Oh my goodness, they've done it again with the colors. I keep on forgetting. It's okay, it's a ZVP. Indy is the admin. Whenever he's here, Indy is in charge, actually. He sets up the lobbies and whatnot. So. Round 4, guys.
Round 4. Fight.
No worries, amigo. Alright, round 4. Bottom left side, the man who's been so excited to play in the big brain bouts. He's now down 1-2. Was off to a great start, but made life a little hard on himself in game 2. And in game 3, maybe a missed opportunity, right? To go for those batteries quicker or to tack up and try to hit with roach speed. The double roach one was a mistake, but that's okay. Let's see if we can turn things around and somehow send us to a rubber match here in game 5. If we get to game 5. This is JMONEYMAGIC. And this is still game 4. That was a great intro, Kevin. You should really do this more often. In the top right side, we are looking at the main base of the man who has built his first pylon in a very normal spot, by the way. I'm starting to get terrified. Also went for a regular gateway into a regular nexus. Who is this guy? I don't even recognize him. What have the Egyptians done to our man Magnath from Twisted Minds? Yeah, I noticed this as well. In this observer, obviously, this is something that's not been around forever. So if you haven't watched Starcraft in a while, you recently came back. If you look at the minimap, so you just focus on this part, you can kind of see these boxes. And the boxes show what the players are looking at. So the purple box is what Magnath is looking at, and the pink box is what JMoney is looking at. Look at how this boy is spamming. Brr, 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 brr. Like crazy APM. I have no idea why anybody would do this. Look at this. Like, mate, how about we build some drones when we got 50 minerals rather than trying to rotate through our camera hotkeys 24 times a second? Hello, Albi. Good evening. Hello, Caloris. Yeah, I see 2 confirmed for the World Cup in Riyadh on Twitter. Wow. That's crazy, James. I know. I saw it. I think it's going to be one of the biggest tournaments that StarCraft 2 has ever had. Historically, this will go down as one of the biggest tournaments the game has ever seen. And the year is 2024. How awesome is that? Everyone knows crazy APM is crazy skill. I've told players many times in the past where they ask me, hey, Roddy, I want to get my APM up. And I'm like, guys, do not worry so much about your APM. I know that it may feel awesome if you're playing quick, but like being accurate, being precise, and having a good read on the game is so much more important than being quick. Some of the best players in the scene at respective times were somewhat slow players. We obviously all remember Goody. You remember Alfie. Like Alfie made it to the grand finals of an IM tournament in China. Show from Dignitas was a slow player. Like you can be incredibly good at this game while being slow. Now, of course, it's going to be hard to hang in there with Clem and Raynor, but there's so much other stuff to worry about than crazy speed, especially when you're just working on your craft and trying to learn about the game, trying to learn about timings, build orders, and whatnot. SOS indeed also somewhat slow, not that slow, I think, not as slow as the other guys that I mentioned. I mean, Roddy is pretty slow, guys. I have a very pleasant stream to watch, in my opinion, because I'm slow. So you guys can just kind of see this camera move around the map in a very smooth and efficient manner, and we follow some phoenixes. But I'm still pretty high ranked. Speed is not everything. Of course, at one point, it does become incredibly important. Trying to keep up with Raynor and Clem and those kids are on fire. Yeah, you're going to have to be pretty damn quick, but that is not quite the level that almost all of us would ever play at. Magnath finds an opening here with the double oracle. He's gonna zap down 5 drones. Pretty good misclicks with one of the oracles, but then JMoney misclicks with the queen. So there's misclick galore over here. Alright, both players misclicking. I do like the 13 drones. I don't know if Coach Vonya stepped in and said, mate, stop building units and just start building drones. You get up to 60 drones, then you can build units. Yes, that's honestly looking a whole lot better here in Game 4 for the American Protoss. Roddy in streamer mode. Roddy upstream is a 400 APM beast. I don't want everybody to know about that 6.8k barcode, mate. I thought I told you to keep that between us, but yeah, okay, sometimes we are a little bit quicker. No need to brag over here though, guys. Five extractors at once, by the way. I have no idea what that's all about. Are we gonna play Muras? Does he want to play like the Ling Roach Muras? Triple Oracle is gonna make a dive in. Nice micro by Magnath. Honestly, I really thought he was gonna lose one there. I would have taken any friendly wager when I saw those 3 better than bruised oracles dive into this mineral line. I was like, that man is gonna lose one. I would have snap called any bet you guys would have proposed. And I would have been wrong. He kept all of them alive. So what is JMoney going to do with 6 gas, by the way, guys? Like, what are we cooking here? Right now, he's got no gas, but soon he's going to have 5,000 gas. I do like the drone count, 70 drones, looking pretty good. Still building some overlords. He's thinking of going up to 4 bases, and that one will get denied. Good job there by Magnath. I feel like the nerds have stepped it up. A perfect game? Oh my goodness. Somebody is ramming on their door for a Pool 2 nomination. He says, guys, I've done it. Look at me, 7 minutes of flawless video gaming. No one is ever allowed to call this guy Pool 3 again. And if you guys are unfamiliar with the Pool 3 meme, it is related. Oh, no. They have a community tournament where they split players, their skill up in different divisions and pools. And Magnath was not happy being in Pool 3. And it's a meme that stuck around forever. Now, whenever he does something wrong, he's in Pool 3. JMoney needs to start building roaches, and I do think he will. He's got the roach speed finishing up as well. Like, the 4th hatchery is a little bit late, but other than that, this game looks pretty good by JMoney. And of course, if this was a professional level CVP, we'd be like, oh, the Protoss is really far ahead. I would absolutely agree with that. But I know a thing or two about gamers around this level, because I watch a crazy amount of Upper 3. And I do think that if JMoney just maxes out on roaches and ravages, I actually think that Magnath is going to have an incredibly difficult time dealing with it, even if he has a worker lead. He's gonna make a void right now as we have a War Prism. Okay, that's very good play by Magnath. The man from Egypt managed to sneak a War Prism into the main base and actually has killed 6 drones very quickly. Now we've got Archons and Zealots getting on top of the 4th hatchery. And he's also building a Void Ray just to stay safe defensively, knowing that there is a lack of anti-air. Gonna get another queen here as well. So triple hatch, and a lot of queens have died. That is a bit problematic. I heard something die. I think an Oracle right here. Oracle number 2 died. The War Prism died. How the hell did the War Prism die? Where did that War Prism die? I'll take a look at the replay, guys, by the time it's over. So JMoney needs to chill, by the way. Like, this is not the moment to go, in my opinion. I would say wait a little bit more, mate. You can crank out some Ravages. Oh, he wants to take this fight. Maybe it's a good fight, actually. Where are those Immortals that you've been producing, Magnath? Where is that safety Void Ray that we know is out there? 2 Archons do get picked off. A Stalker gets picked up. Don't fight near Battery Overcharge JMoney, or do? I don't know. Okay, he's gonna do it. He kills it. And he's still chasing. Big Daddy Immortal is here. Will the Roaches just go for that Immortal immediately? I don't know. I feel like we're floating a little too much here. On 3 bases, 1100 minerals. It will be hard to end the game with just Roaches. As the concave of Stalkers is beautiful. The Void Ray shows up, and Magnath is going to hold here. I think you wait a little bit longer, guys. You get a few more Roaches. Like 16 Roaches on the production tab. You get a couple Ravages in the mix. And it's so much more difficult for the Protoss. Now I think it looks very rough for JMoney. 3 bases, it is hard to get another army like that out. The next time the Stalkers are going to have Blink obviously as well. They've got +2. This should be a game that belongs to the man from Egypt. Who says Pool 3 memes no more. A couple of Roaches split off, by the way. I mean, we were worried about tunneling claws. We don't have to worry about that. Decent Roach run by. As the Zealots on the other side of the map have not done a whole lot yet. And I actually believe that our Zerg is dealing with those Zealots. This is pretty good. Magnath now wants to do something about the 3rd base. And the doors are open as all of the Roaches were chasing those Zealots. 1 Zealot wins the fight. That Zealot's probably going to get a lot of kills as well. Because I think the JMoney will probably forget to look at it. As another hatchery does fall. So we're now down to being a 2-base Zerg. Look at this Zealot, by the way, guys. It won a fight to the death versus the Queen. And is now single-handedly wiping out the majority of the drones. Kill that Queen, too. Does not matter. GG. Well played, Get Skulled. Unfortunately, the debut of JMoneyMagic did not go his way. Oklahoma in shambles. Nah, it was a fun series, mate. GG. Congrats to Magnath. Very, very bumpy and rocky start. I think it was very obvious that he was incredibly, I guess, nervous or paranoid. But, yeah, he changed things around very quickly and played a little more solid. Played more macro-oriented. And he got the job done. Pool 2. You deserve it, mate. As Basilisk is going to give us 10 subbies for our first best of 5 tonight. No game 5, but still a pretty fun series. And it went to distance, so I'm kind of happy. I think Pool 2 well deserved. You were nervous. I think we saw that a little bit in game 1, mate. Alright, we're going to go ahead and settle that prediction and get ready for the next one. That is also a proper community best of 5 between a Hungarian Protoss called Winter and a Polish Zerg called Jemiel. I know so little about those guys. Well, I know a little bit about Winter. Not the streamer Winter, but the Hungarian Protoss Winter. The Polish Zerg I'm unfamiliar with, but I do believe he's only 16. So, a youngster, an up-and-comer, probably someone who got a lot better recently. You guys all went for J Money after that start. Magnath, the underdog. That's what you get, Magnath. All this community work that you do, mate. And they don't even believe in you. All right. Winter versus... I'm going to ask Indy how to pronounce his name. Because apparently that final L is not a regular L. It's kind of like a weird Polish L. And I'm just lost. Second series of the night means there is $100 on the line. The winner gets 80 buckies. And Winter already said that he's going to spend that on drinking money for Katowice. I don't know what Jemio is spending it on. He's 16, Poland, couple bottles of vodka. Who knows? I'm kidding, obviously. Don't do that, guys. Wait until you're 18 or 21. I don't know. Something nice for the computer. Who knows? I'll give you guys 15 minutes. I believe a 36-year-old man against a 16-year-old kid. We are gaming. Air Winter actually lives in the UK. He is Hungarian, but I think he told me that he moved to the United Kingdom when he was 26, and he's now 36. So take a tiny break. I'll see you guys real soon. We also have an unbanned request. Exciting. I am excited.